So that's it for today's guys, and
All the best.
to all the CAP call getters.
Ace that interview.
Yes.
Be confident. Be chill about this. Don't take any stress. And
Do like,
do like, share,
comment,
subscribe
यार
to this
height
guy's
इतनी
channel.
छोटी है मेरी
It is going to be a
बहुत
great
ज़्यादा
experience.
छोटा है, हर
Okay?
height कितना है तेरा height?
6'1".
6'1". I am 5'7". See
Bye
you guys.
All the best.
Keep shining. So hi everyone, welcome to the new vlog. Today we have Vivek Dharnia, and he is a PGP finance student at IIM Kozhikode. He is also a BTech graduate from IIT Roper, and at the same time he served in Indian Armed Forces. So guys, it will be a great experience, interview experience for the CAP that he had given, and काफ़ी different, काफ़ी unique and काफ़ी learning वाली experience मिलेगी आप सबको. So do watch this, tell us how was this interview experience. Do like, comment, share so that I can be motivated to make more videos like this, and you can watch the other videos in the I section. I've shared all the videos in that playlist. Do watch it, and let's meet Vivek. See ya. Start this interview experience. So Vivek, आप सबको आप अपने बारे में बता दो, and at the same time also share about your introduction that you have given in your CAP interview. So here you go.
Congratulations everyone. Thank you Anshu for giving this opportunity to share my experience here. So guys, as Anshu has already said, I am a mechanical engineering graduate from IIT Roper. After my graduation, I joined the armed forces of this country. My motivation was that I wanted to go in a very different field and groom myself in a leadership position basically. So I wanted to take on responsibility at a very early stage of my career. So armed forces gives you a great opportunity to be at the helm and contribute and also groom yourself in a way that no other job will. So that was my one reason why I went for the armed forces. I told the same during my introduction in the CAP also, and and another reason was that my parents, my grandparents have also been in the forces, so that kind of influenced me further. So that was basically what I told in my CAP introduction as well. So yeah, that is about it.
Okay, so Vivek, next question ये है कि what all questions was asked to you in the CAP interview? You can share.
So my interview was very interesting.
Okay.
This was my first interview जो मैंने दिया था CAP, and they grilled me on why I wanted to leave my job. Why do I want to leave the armed forces and go for an MBA? And they basically wanted to ask whether I'm sure about my decision or not. So they grilled me on that. They said, why do you want to do MBA? So I said, yes, I want to do MBA because I've learned some things in my career here and I want to apply them in the corporate setting. Along those lines, I tried to give an answer. Then they grilled me on why it is not a good decision, because government has spent a lot of money in our training and our personal grooming, etc. So do you think it's a good decision to switch at this point of time? So I answered along those lines only. I said, yes, a person should be in a job where he or she can perform to the best of his or her abilities. And I believe that it was time for me to switch because of some personal reasons, and also because I thought that the skills that I've learned in my career in the armed forces, I will be better able to apply them in the corporate setting and be able to contribute more. So along those lines, I answered my question, but though they were not very convinced about them, but yeah, I was able to answer along those lines. Yeah, and they were kind of convinced, but they were still kind of
Doubtful.
skeptical about it. But yeah, and then they started asking questions around my general awareness questions, which were very easy for me because I have had been a lot of person who reads a lot around things around the world, whatever. So they asked me about my place of birth and what is special about my place of birth. They asked me what is the special thing where I did my schooling from, I did my college from, and then I was able to answer these questions very easily. So that was not a problem. And Then they asked me about some of the news articles that were coming. So my interview was in Feb 2020, and so they asked me some questions around budget. They asked me some questions around the new government policies around in defense sector. So that was also very not nothing tricky about it. I was able to answer those questions as well because I used to follow news. I still follow a lot of current affairs materials, newspapers. I used to be regular at it. So yeah, that was a little bit about my CAP interview. These were the questions that were asked.
ओके विवेक, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपने कहाँ से प्रिपेयर किया था GDPI के लिए, एंड एनी टिप्स फॉर ऑल द कैप कॉल गेटर्स?
So this is a most frequent question that I get asked. No. So see, the thing is that the interview is all about knowing the person wants to know you. So think a lot about around how what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. That is very important. Spend like an hour or so sitting and contemplating what have you done, what have you achieved, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and focus on key instances where you displayed those strengths and weaknesses. That is one thing. It helps if some friend of you can sit with you and cross question you around those lines. Frame questions and prepare answers for those. So most or 80% of the interview, 70% of the interview, the questions come from your answers, right? So you can very easily prepare those questions and answers of those questions. So it can go in your favor in that regard. Secondly, read newspapers a lot. Like, it is very important that you are abreast with the current affairs, what is going on. Like, for example, today the budget came, so be abreast about all those happenings around the world, what is going on, and especially about the area where you want to go. For example, if you want to go to finance, or you want to go into, say, marketing. So have a broad idea about these domains, like what is finance, and what all divisions are there in marketing, what all divisions are there. It will give you a signal that you are serious about your MBA, right? So MBA journey begins before even you join the college. So try to focus on that. Don't go after a lot of coachings and these coaching classes and all around interviews. It is just about knowing yourself better as part of this process. Frame those questions, frame those answers, and try to think what all questions can be framed from those answers of yours, because your interview, you can give it a direction. It is up to you. And frankly, if you don't say something interesting, then there is a chance that very random questions can come from your background, from your maybe your acads, then those are very tricky to handle, right? So give them very interesting answers so that they frame questions from your answers. So that is one very good way to ace these interviews. And lastly, do not forget about your academics as well, because if you're not thorough with your academics, maybe it may be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you might have forgotten about your acads, but try to have a basic understanding of all subjects. So one of the questions that were asked, like, name the subjects that you studied. Like, it's a very simple question, but if one is not careful enough, he or she won't be able to even recall the subjects that were that we studied in our undergraduation. So try to be clear about it. Have a basic understanding about some of your subjects, and pick one subject where you feel you can give answers, or you can, if they ask you, you can just tell them that, okay, I know, for example, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I just told, like, I'm good with thermodynamics, right? So they will ask questions from thermodynamics, and you are able to answer those questions. Make sure there are 1 or 2 subjects like that. Don't have to focus too much on academics, but have a basic understanding. Focus on the current events, what are the current affairs going around the world, especially in the business world. Have a basic understanding of key domains that MBA has: finance, consulting, marketing, what all it entails. And lastly, think a lot about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what is it that you want 5 years, 4 years, 10 years from from now, right? And it is okay if you don't know or you don't have an idea, but as they say, fake it till you make it, right? So just give them some answer, an interesting answer, so that they feel that this guy is certain about, this guy has clarity about his or her goals, right? So make sure you do that.